I don't know about you, but I really love making meals every day of the week. I admit it didn't happen so frequently when I had my 9 to 5 job. The main thing that helped me maintain a structured diet was preparing food in advance during the weekend, ideally in a way that doesn't take up too much of my rest time. The cooking is supposed to take up to 2 hours. Let's start with pizza muffins, which I make from green buckwheat flour, spices, tomato paste, vegan cream cheese, soy yogurt, shredded cheese, and plant-based milk. I combine these into a kind of wet dough and then add olives and corn. I like to use green olives, but any type will work. Pour the batter into a cupcake tray, filling each hole to the top. I don't grease the holes or use liners because the muffins come out really easily and don't stick. You'll see soon. I lightly oil each muffin and sprinkle them with nigella seeds, sunflower seeds, and pumpkin seeds. I put the tray in the oven preheated to 200 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes and then move on to preparing the salad toppings, which I make every single week. I peel a sweet potato and beetroot, wash them, and start cutting them into cubes. I only add the sweet potato to a bowl because I prepare more sweet potato than the other vegetables, and I put it in the oven a bit earlier since sweet potatoes take longer to bake. I add olive oil and spices directly to the bowl. You can see the full ingredients list in the video description. I shake the bowl until I see all the pieces are coated in the sauce and then transfer them to a baking tray. Now I take out the muffins and then put the sweet potatoes in their place. For the second part of the salad toppings, I cut tofu cubes, matching the size of the sweet potato cubes, and transfer them to a bowl. I keep a small portion of the beetroot aside for making beetroot tahini I'll be showing you later, and the rest I cut into cubes and add to the bowl. Also going into the bowl are soybeans and cooked chickpeas, which I remember to add just before they went in the oven. I add the same spices and olive oil as I did with the sweet potatoes. I spread them on a baking tray and put them in the oven. Make sure to stir the sweet potatoes and other vegetables every few minutes and sweep the trays so they bake evenly. As promised, the muffins pop out of the tray easily after cooling for about 10 minutes, and I transfer them to an airtight container to keep them soft and moist. I bake the toppings for 20 to 30 minutes. Basically, from the moment the sweet potatoes go in, I prepare the rest of the toppings and add them to bake with the sweet potatoes. For the next dish, I soak blanched almonds and quinoa about 3 hours before preparing. Soaking quinoa before cooking helps with digestion, which is especially important for people like me who suffer from IBS. After soaking, I fry the quinoa in olive oil and add salt and pepper. After a few minutes of frying until I see the quinoa becomes translucent with fewer white parts, I add water. For the next sauce, I chop a massive charred leaf. And when I say massive, trust me on this. I use an immersion blender, so I transfer the ingredients to a suitable cup, but you can also blend the sauce in a regular blender. Next is spinach, which I chop to add a nutritional boost. Add the soaked washed almonds and half of the silken tofu because there's no more room in the cup. I season with salt, pepper and nutritional yeast and add celery pieces, though I might have added a bit too much this time, to be aware that celery can really overpower the flavor. After adding water, I blend the ingredients until smooth as much as possible. I transfer the sauce to clean jars and use it within a week. Next, I move on to preparing stir-fried vegetables in maple syrup. Slice a red onion into thin stripes and move on to the mushrooms, which I like to cut into thick medium-sized pieces so they hold up well even after a few days in the fridge. I use the same method for the other vegetables. Couldn't find yellow zucchini this time, so I used yellow bell pepper, Brussels sprouts, which are rich in protein, fiber, vitamins and antioxidants, snow peas, which stay crunchy even after being in the fridge, a charred stock. Next are green onions, pecan pieces and broccoli florets. Start by frying in a wide non-stick pan without oil until the onion softens a bit. And then I add the mushrooms. After they brown a bit, I add the rest of the vegetables in 1-minute intervals. I add 2 tablespoons of low-sodium soy sauce or tamari, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup and cover for 2 minutes. I open the lid, fry for a few minutes and 2 more tablespoons of each sauce, cover and repeat. While the maple vegetables and quinoa are cooling, I prepare the second sauce and the last ingredients to complete the meal prep, beet tahini. It's basically regular tahini to which I added the beet piece we saved earlier from the salad toppings. I added half the tahini to make it easier to blend, and now I add another cup of tahini, mix until smooth and then transfer the jars to be used within a week or 7 days. Now I transfer the quinoa and stir-fried vegetables to containers and we are done. So how do I actually incorporate all of these into my meals throughout the week? There are a few ways to combine the ingredients. I like to eat the maple vegetables with quinoa and the green sauce. You can also use the pink sauce instead or simply eat it with quinoa or rice. Together it comes out sweet and tangy, really unique. For breakfast, I like to eat the muffins with some veggies on the side and the pink sauce. And I love this colorful and cool burrito. I spread the green sauce on the tortilla and the toppings, heat it up a bit in the microwave, add lettuce and roll it up. The green sauce is great as a pasta sauce. I like to cook pasta with frozen peas, drain it, add the green sauce, a bit of vegan cooking cream, the sweet potato from the toppings we prepared, season with salt and some leftover grated cheese, which is always a good idea, and walnuts. It is so great. The toppings are mainly for salads, so we make a salad every evening and add some quinoa and the toppings and made it more interesting with zero effort. Well, at least no effort at that moment. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.